is up, my fellow creepers and things that go bump in the night? Welcome back to yet another episode of Creature of the Night. I'm your host, Toxin, your friendly neighborhood sinner. You should know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell to let you know every time I upload so you can keep up to date with me. You should know this, guys. Let's jump into this one. It came out back in 2020. Really caught my eye, not with just the title, but just the concept of the film. And I'm speaking, of course, of The Evil Eye.
I'm trying to save your life, Baloo!
See, I knew if you just met him in person, everything would be fine.
There's a lot of reasons why I chose this film to review. One, my girlfriend actually put it on, and it's on Amazon Prime, so go check it out and let me know what you think about the film in general. Not just that, but the name, The Evil Eye, and then what the film was just about, and I'll get into that in a second. But The Evil Eye, to be honest, as a Hispanic, Hispanic American, that I didn't realize that The Evil Eye kind of spread throughout, different cultures and stuff like that. But again, that could just touch on religion and stuff like that, where it just reaches a lot of different races, a lot of cultures, and we all have our own different interpretation of it. So this one definitely, if you're Hispanic, and it actually, because of this film, I noticed it does spread, like, they use the same symbols and stuff like that. It's a little blue gem. Hopefully I'm finding it. You're seeing a picture of it where it looks like it's a blue eye, essentially, and it protects you from the evil eye. Mexicans, like the ojo or whatever, where if somebody who has the ojo, it kind of drains your power and you feel sick, you think you have the flu, crack an egg, do the blessing with the egg, crack the egg, put it in a glass, put it either at the end of your bed or under your bed, depending on who raised you and who taught you. And if it's a certain color the next day, or if it's foggy, you had the evil eye, and then you just toss out the egg and then move on with your life, until you get hit with it again, because I've been hit with it multiple times. So it was cool to see that, I believe, they are Indian, from India, their culture, so they believe in it too. But this mother kind of takes it to another level, to where she always sends this symbol or things to protect her from it, do blessings, pray for her constantly for her daughter's sake. She is in America. I believe she's either a student or she's working here. She's working and being a student. And she is, like, since her being so far away, again, a mother is always protective. Even growing up, you're never not your mother's baby, and a mother knows best. Let's just be honest. So she's getting worried because she wants. I didn't like this part too much, just because I believe a lot of cultures do hang on it, especially for the daughters. A lot of cultures, if it's the men, déjalo es hombre, or in English, leave him alone, he's a man. It's just the men get a lot more lenience than the women do. They're very protective more of the women, and she can't do a lot of stuff. I understand, maybe not too much nowadays, but back in the day, women were taken advantage of a lot. Not saying that doesn't happen a lot today, but I think a lot of more women are more self-aware of it, and they prepare themselves more for it. But essentially, this one, the mother's getting concerned because her daughter's already reaching of age and she's still not married. All her friends' daughters are getting married. She just wants somebody to protect her. You don't need a man to protect you. I'm all for the feminist movement to a certain extent. If you're a feminazi and you believe in equality, that's good. But if you think all men should die, then something's wrong with you. That's not really equality. Something's wrong with your head. But, whatever. I'm probably going to get ridiculed in the comments for that. Well, who cares? But she wants her daughter to be married, and she wants to be protected. And then once she meets somebody, she goes, and I believe with their culture, like the astronomical stuff, like the stars and all that, it's very, very big with them. So they do have experts on that to read lifelines and to read compatibilities of partners or just anybody. And although he comes from a very wealthy family, he's very powerful, he has his own business, it kind of sounds like a match in heaven. This is the guy that she's supposed to be with. But I don't know if it's because she stops taking her medication, or she just starts suffering and noticing similarities. But she believes that her daughter's new boyfriend, soon to be husband, because he ends up proposing to her, asking for permission and all that he is the reincarnated soul of a man that she had dated and basically ran and controlled her life, beat her, treated her like shit, and did everything in her power to get away from. She ended up actually accidentally killing him. And the situation was, he trapped her on a bridge, he busted her head open on the concrete slab, to which leads her to have medication and PTSD and all that. So why she has to take all this medication to help her out, brain trauma and all that. She ends up actually accidentally killing him and like drowning him, where they're about to go over the bridge, so it's either him or her. She pushes him off and he drowns because he cannot swim. And years later, if you look at it the way they planned it out, the year that he was born, the symbols, like, oh, his sign is in the house of what, I forget the exact reading. I'm not really all into that. I'm Capricorn, and there are times where other people actually tell me what my zodiac sign means for that day or overall. There's some that matches me, there's others that don't. So I'm just not really big on that. And I have been on dates to where it's like, that's kind of the first thing they ask you, like, well, what's your sign and what does this mean? Who gives a shit? If we're not compatible, it's because of us. It's not because of our fucking sign, okay? I'm just being honest. Anyway, so lining up the timeline to where he is born, where his sign is in the house of, and how the stars line up on his day. There's a lot of very similarities, especially the way he acts. And she even hires, even though she is struggling for money, like that family is struggling for money, that she does hire like a private investigator to do some digging, and finding out that a lot of his ex-girlfriends are not willing to talk about him. And the ones that are, it's really good. But the ones who are like seem scared when they're investigated don't really want to talk about it. So she's just trying to figure out what the hell is hiding, or what is he hiding. And then the daughter just ends up having enough of it. Like, okay, you want me to find a man, I find a man, and then he's not good enough for you. Like, what the hell is the deal, And the mom is just like, no, this is what's happening. It's this guy, he's back, and he's never gonna leave me alone. And we do kind of see, like, okay, this is why. Because upon the daughter and this new boyfriend's meeting, she does leave her protective evil eye stuff at home, and that's kind of that's the same day that they end up meeting. So as we can see it's not just superstition. There is some truth behind it. Again, I know it's a movie, but I've had personal experiences with it as well, and I do believe in that there is something that the, pun intended, that the eyes cannot see, that is happening behind the works. God works in mysterious ways, or whoever you want to believe in works in mysterious ways, and there's always something behind the nothing. That what we see every day, there is always a purpose to everything that is happening. So yeah, so eventually, okay, after getting the dad's blessing and they're gonna go forward to meeting, the mom ends up flying to America without the dad noticing, without the dad knowing, and they just to go and investigate this guy. And when meeting, boom, we see a fucking flip switch, and he starts talking to her in the exact same way that this guy, that her ex that died, would talk to her and treat her. So boom, again, mothers are never wrong. It's just the mother's intuition. It's that gut instinct. You can never go wrong with it, guys. Like, and not just speaking of this movie, if you feel it out in the real world, if you got that gut feeling, listen to your gut. My gut is usually never wrong. I've been maybe wrong twice, but there was actually some truth behind it. It just wasn't totally truthful, if that want to make sense. It wasn't a true feeling, but there was a feeling of something going on. To go off script with all that, but just to let you know, this is what I kind of believe in, and my family believes in it a lot. My girlfriend's family believes in some type of situation, and me and her believe in certain things. So yeah, now realizing, the daughter now realizing, like, this is what's happening. Still weird, a younger guy still going after the mother. He's telling her to keep quiet. I'm gonna marry your daughter. She's gonna bear my kids, and I'm gonna be with you forever, regardless. And the mom has to give subtle hints to the daughter that only the daughter would know. Then she comes to the realization, oh God, she's right. And he takes on both of these women, fighting them, beating them exactly the same way that this guy would fucking do to her. And they end up having to kill him, not accidentally, just this time they actually have to fucking kill him. But it's scary too. because as they're in the hospital and that guy is dead because they put him in a coma. Best thing, a lot of films I noticed too, like if there's like an evil spirit trapped in a body, if you keep them in a coma or whatever, it is a bad point too because it's actually a good spirit, but it's a weird movie too, Dogma, where the demons beat the vessel that is holding God's spirits and they put him in a coma until they kill him. Like they pull the plug so he can die. Thus releasing God's spirit. You know, like that kind of situation where it just kind of they become trapped in their own body, but he ends up dying, and at the same time a baby is born not too far in the hospital. So could the soul transfer over? I forget which movie it is, but there's a bunch of different variations of the quote to where if a spirit is evil enough, it never truly dies, it never truly goes away. You know, it just continues living. So I believe that's the situation. They did leave it to where another one could go on, but you know, maybe the mother has passed away now, and now the daughter has to take the mantle to see if this guy comes back and tries to hunt them down again. And her daughter, it could be a whole vicious cycle. But that's another thing too. Like, I love the classics, Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, and all them. The one thing though too, you know, that's what made them scary. I understand they just couldn't die, but at a certain point, okay, you know, is this an ongoing thing? Is it never just gonna end, or what the fuck is the situation? Because I know there's another Halloween coming out pretty soon too, so I will be doing a review for that. But we'll see. Guys, let me know what you thought about this video. Let me know what you thought about the film. Why don't you go check it out in the comments below. You should know what to do, guys. Like, subscribe, and please share my videos. I need your support, guys. More videos coming to you. Yeah, guys, always remember, especially in this film, if you're not sinning, you're not having fun. Beware the moon, guys.